So last class, we discussed about array. Array has the linear data structures and also the operation that we are going to perform with arrays. So last class I told the operation which are performed with arrays are traversing, searching, insertion, deletion, sorting and merging. So let us first take the sorting, what do you call it, is a traversing. So already I have defined what is traversing means. Traversing is a process of visiting each element exactly once to perform some operation. So whenever we say an array means, array is a finite collection of n number of elements where each element is of same type and sharing common name. So that's what array means. If you imagine, this array will be like this. We have a consecutive memory location, and this memory location we have a number of elements like 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, any numbers. So this is, you can call it as an array where elements of an array are stored one after the other. So if you name this is an array A, and this is how we are representing. So this subscript will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now A of 0 means first element, 2, A of 1 means second element, A of 2 means third element, and A of 3 and A of 4, so on. So already I have told this array numbers or array elements are accessed from 0 to n minus 1. So that's why the first element will be A of 0 subscript. That's where we discussed about features of arrays. So now let us discuss about the traversing operation. So what is traversing means, you can understand very simple. Visiting each element exactly once to perform some operation. Look at this. Now I am going through the first element till the last element. First I used 2, then I 3, then 4, then 5, 6. So what I did means visited each element starting from the first subscript to the last subscript. That is from lower bound to upper bound. So this process is called as traversing. Why do we need this traversing? So whenever we have a list of numbers, so there is a necessity of, simple thing means we have to create an array means I have to visit exactly once for all the elements. All the memory location I have to store. So that's an example. Now we have an elements and we have to display all elements. So I have to access each element from an array from beginning to end. Or you want to find the maximum element. There are many applications. Basically, whenever there is a necessity of visiting all the elements, then we have to use the traversing. That is what traversing. So traversing is a process of visiting each element exactly once to perform the operation. So let us write an algorithm. Already we have understood. Very simple. Start from 0 till 4. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what we have to write. That's what we are going to write an algorithm. So what is algorithm we are talking about is the traversing. So traversing means start from lower bound till the upper bound. So what is traversing? Traversing is a process of visiting each element exactly once to perform the operation required by the user. So we do this operation. First, let A be an array with LB and UB as a lower bound and upper bound, and this algorithm traverses through an array and performs the operation called process. So we have a LB, that is a lower bound, here you can see, and this is upper bound. So it is lower bound, upper bound, and each element we are going to apply some process, some operation. Generally we write process. It can be input operation, it can be output operation, or it can be any comparison from beginning to end, so whatever it is. But let me define in algorithm just a process. So let us write an algorithm how to traverse through this array. So let me write algorithm. Step 1, start. So here step 2. So we have to traverse through from lower bound to upper bound. Let us take for. We use a for loop because I know in advance how many elements are there. So therefore I have to repeat the process of visiting each element. Here I am using the for statement for something. I start from lower bound subscript till the upper bound. Lower bound to upper bound, do the following step. For I is equal to lower bound to upper bound, do the following. So what we do means, so we apply the process, right? So apply some process apply process on, if it is A, so it is A of I. On each element, we are applying the process. That's what we repeat for all the elements from beginning to end. So it is for end. And then we have a step 3, step 4, stop. So this is an algorithm to traverse through an array. So what we do means we start from for I equals, where I subscript run from 0 to upper bound. So here lower bound is 0, upper bound is 4. So starting first, I is 0, which is less than 4, repeat this step. So apply process on A of 0, so on this element, this memory location. Then I plus plus, I becomes 0 plus 1 is 1, so 1 is less than 2, repeat. Then 3, then 4. So after, when it becomes I plus plus, so I becomes 5, 5 is less than or equal to 4, it is false, we quit, we stop. So in that this for loop would have visited all the elements from first to the last element, starting from first subscript 0 till the n minus 1. So where here n represents number of elements, but here we take lower bound and upper bound. I think you have understood what is traversing. Sometimes in exams they ask, write an algorithm for traversing. So traversing is the process of visiting each element exactly once to perform some operation. So this is an algorithm. So it's in the textbook, you can copy, but remember here we have to start with lower bound and we have to go to upper bound. Like this, you can start from 0 until we go to the last element. So that is a traversing. Traversing is a process of visiting each element exactly once to perform some operation. So let us take an example. We can take an example of, best example is reading elements into an array and displaying all the elements from an array. Of course, it is definitely where we visit all the elements. We have a consecutive memory location, means we go to the first element, we go to the second element, all like this. So creating an array is the best example of traversing. So similarly, displaying all the elements of an array. So we are displaying all the elements one by one from an array means, so we visited all the elements. So that's also an example. So we'll write a program for this, like creating and displaying one-dimensional array. So that could be an example. So you can take any example where we visit, it is necessary to visit all the elements, then we call it as a traversing. So we'll take a simple example of create and displaying an array. So let me write that all program. I think let it be like this. So it's an array, let us assume. First we have to, I think last year we have studied the arrays. So how arrays are defined and how it has to be declared. So we have to include header files. I'm not including header files. iostream.h, conio.h, if necessary math.h. I'm start with the main program. So actually this academic we are going to learn with what we call object-oriented programming. Last year we learned only C program. So that's like structured programming. This academic will write programs using classes and object, that will be continued. And to understand this, we go with the C programs only. Let me define the function, main function, void main. So first I have to declare all the variables which I am going to use. So what are the variables I am going to use means, one, we need an array. So we need a size of an array, and also the lower bound, the upper bound, we can take subscript I. So whenever we talk about one-dimension array, first we have to define an array, let it be data type, array name, size, I'll take 10. So this is int, where we call this a data type, and A is array name and size, one-dimension array. So what other things you might have needed is a subscript. To access elements of an array, we must use a subscript, let it be I. So and one more is the number of elements, let it be n. That is how many elements we are going to store. So now let me input the value for all those things. Let me input for how many elements, enter the value for n, that is enter number of elements, let it be n. So enter n. I think you are familiar with the cout, cin statements. Now it is input n. So if you give n is equal to 5 means, So we are going to store 5 number of elements. So n is the named memory location. So where we have, it is identified by the name n. So it's a single memory, individual memory, and it has now, if you input 5, it is stored 5. Now we have to input the elements of an array. Then we start with the message saying that cout. So enter elements of array. Enter elements. Just I'll write, you can write enter elements of an array. So elements means not one element. So it is from 0 to n minus 1. So let me write with for start from I equals 0, lower bound I is less than n, I plus plus, where n is the number of elements. That's the size of an array. So now use a cin. So cin, so a of I. So now we can see this is an example where we visit each memory location from beginning to end. You can see start from with I is 0, n I have given 5, there are 5 elements. So 0 and what is n means 5. So 0 is less than 5, yes, repeat this step. What we are repeating, input a of I means 0. What is at a of 0, this is a of 0, we are referring here. So this is I am visited now. So I input some number, let it be 10. So I store now value. Then what happens? For loop, only one statement to be repeated, I plus plus. I previously 0, now it becomes 1. So 1 is less than 5. Again, repeat. I have to repeat with the same process, C input. So it is asking to input something at this place, that is A of I. A of I means A of 1. So there I may input some number, let it be 5. So now I repeated. So visited the second element, I store some element 5. Then I plus plus. So I previously 1, so now I becomes 2. Again 2 is less than 5. Repeat. So input again some number, that is a of 2. At a of 2, I may input some number 4. Then I plus plus. So I becomes 3. 3 is less than 5. Yes. Repeat again. So input same process, some number which will be going to store at a of 3. Let it be 7. Any numbers, just visiting. Then I plus plus, I becomes 4. 4 is less than 5. Yes. 4 is less than 5. We have to repeat. What you are repeating? Input. Again input some number. Let it be 8. Now I plus plus, I becomes 5. 5 is less than 5. 5 is less than 5 is a false. So we stop. That is, this repetition of input operation is terminated. That because loop is controlling, now it stopped. So what I did means, you can see here, I visited all the memory location. That is, you have visited array from first to the last. We have 5 elements in this case. So 0 to 4. We have totally 5 elements. So this is the example of traversing. Like this, you take any example. Similarly, you display an array, same thing. So you can write cout. You can write array elements or array elements. Array elements or you can write same. Array means not one element. So you have a number of elements. How many means? Start from first subscript. I is 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. Then cout, use a set width of 2. Then you write a of I. So I have given 2 examples. So this output operation is also same. Now we look at this 0 and display. So a of 0, we have a 10, the 10 is cout, it is displayed on the screen. Then I plus plus, I becomes 1, 1 is less than 5, repeat. So a of 1 is 5, 5 is displayed on the screen. So visiting each element. Now in this case, I am trying to access those elements and displaying on the screen. So this is an example of traversing. So I took creating an array is also visited each memory location, and displaying an array is also an example. So this is how we perform the operation of traversing. Seen that is we use to create an array. Cout to take the elements from an array. I think it is in the textbook. You copy this. If you are not, it's not clear I think. So you take the textbook and write. You have to write from the textbooks only. Even if you have doubts, let us clarify. If possible, we'll see that one, how it is. I think it's clear. You have a textbooks and write from the textbook. Get the notes, continue the notes like this only. So this is something about the traversing. So next, what we are going to discuss is the searching. So when you have a number of elements, what other operation you can perform is searching. So what is searching means? It's very simple. Searching is a process of identifying whether the element is present in an array or not. So searching, I think the word is familiar. We are looking for something else. Whenever we go somewhere, we search. Search is a common, when you get up early in the morning, we search for where is the brush and all those things. So when you are coming to the college, you search where are my books, where is lunch box, all those things. So searching is a process of identifying where to locate what you are looking for, where it is and what you are looking for. That is, what you are looking for is maybe sometimes available. So it's available somewhere, you may get it, and sometimes you may not get it. So that is what happens while searching we do. So searching is a process of identifying whether a particular element is present in an array or not. You take this example. So suppose I want to find whether the number 10 is present or not. So what I do, yes, 10 is present. You are looking for 20? No, we don't have. 20 is not present. So that's how search can be two options. So search is successful, sometimes search is unsuccessful as well. So what is searching means? A process of identifying whether the particular element present in a given array or not. That is what we call as a searching operation. So in generally, if you define, it is some structures where you are looking for particular piece of information, whether it is exist in that structure or not. So here with respect to array, we are talking means array is a collection of elements. That element may be character, integer, whatever data type it is, but all similar. So we have a piece of, that is we have a same type of element and we are looking in an array, whether this element present or not. If it is present, search is successful. If it is not present, search is unsuccessful. So there are two types of, two methods to do searching. So one is called linear search, another is called binary search. So what is a linear search means? It's a process of, again, identifying the element from beginning to end, one after the other. Like we take the first element and we compare this element to be searched. Then we go for the second element. Then we go third element, fourth. So starting from beginning to end, from first element to the last element, we keep searching, comparing whether the element is present or not. If it is matches, the search is successful. We note down the position and we display element is found. Otherwise, we search all the elements. We compare all the elements of an array and the element is not present. So we say search is unsuccessful. So this is what we are going to do whenever we do a search, linear search operation. Linear search, it is called because it starts from beginning to end, one after the other. So sometimes it's also known as sequential search because it goes one by one. Compare with the first element, then compare with the second element, then compare with the third element and so on. So because it goes one by one, it's also known as sequential search or linear search. So let us learn about the linear search, how this linear search algorithm, and we will write a program. And now one more, we have a binary search and we learn that binary search as well. So let us, we keep this thing, same thing for till the input is same. Anyway, we'll write algorithm first, then we'll come back to the programs. Don't worry, we'll have all in the textbooks. Just to copy from the textbook, but just I wanted you to, how it is written, how you can write, you can just follow. Just look at how are you going to do this, and then you just copy from the textbooks. Keep the textbook with you only right now. Before class starts, open this. I think you are familiar, so just you read the textbooks and write the algorithms, that's all. If necessary, programs. Whenever I write programs, you write. So now, we'll do the same thing. Let A be an array with LB as a lower bound and UB as upper bound. Now I am doing linear search algorithm. And LOC holds the location of an element where we are going to find. And then, and also we have a ELE. ELE is the element to be searched. So before I start algorithm, so write algorithm and write these two sentences. It will be there. So let capital A be an array. Whenever you write like this, imagine. So this becomes like this. I think I'll write here, you can make out. So let capital A be an array like this. Some number of elements. So this is, whenever you say let A be an array means, it looks like this is the imagination. Whenever we talk about array, so it should look like this. Let A be an array, right now nothing is there. So it's consecutive memory location. So 0, 1, 2, 3, we have to give the number, subscript. But we have a physical address that's identified by the compiler. But right now just whenever we talk about linear array means, you can see here declared integer A of 10. So like this, 10 memory locations are blocked and it is identified by the name A. So now let us write an algorithm, linear search algorithm. Let A be an array with LB as lower bound and UB as upper bound. So that's as usual you can take, or you can take 0 to n minus, and we have a n number of elements. You can take n also. Depending on what we have, then you can take. Or if you don't want lower bound and upper bound means, let me take size of an array, that is n. So it has n number of elements. N always contains size of an array, that's the number of elements. If it's 10 means we have 10 elements, if we have 4 means 4 elements. So the exactly same, 5 means 5 elements. So you can see here I took 5 elements. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So n will be 5. Or it can be, for example, I took 5. So next, we do this LOC is the location where we are going to find. So we have a subscript 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So location is used to decide whether the element is present or not. So to start with, I assume the element is not present. So not present means, so it should not be 0. So where I'm deciding the element is present, or we decide the element present or not depending on the subscript value, that is the position, depending on where this position LOC, we take a variable called LOC. If it is present, so we decide that LOC will have some number, any of this 0 to n minus 1, positive. So if it's negative means, so right now we don't have. That is how it is mathematically we make decisions. How do you make decisions means, so some mathematically comparison, like we have to say yes or no. So if positive number means definitely including 0 to n minus 1, it is found, definitely we have that location, element is present at any of that position. So if it is negative means it's no, element is not present. That's how computer can make decisions. Computer can say this element is exist. No, this element does not exist. That's how it is capable of performing the searching operation and deciding yes, the element is found and it is found at this location. No, element is not found. Search is unsuccessful. So let us write the algorithm. So what we call the linear search algorithm. So we take here same thing, let capital A be an array with n elements. This algorithm tries to find the occurrence of an element ELE which is stored at LOC. The element is stored ordered, but if it is stored, that location will have that address. So let's start the algorithm, step 1. So start. Step 2, I'll take this LOC is equal to minus 1. So what does this LOC is equal to minus 1 means? Right now, assuming there does not exist the element what you are looking for. Let us take some elements like this 5, 3, 2, 1, 6, any numbers in random orders where we have to find some elements. So totally we have 5 number of elements n, and then let us assume we are looking element as 6. Whether it's a present or not, we have to search. So that is now location right now, assume the element is not present. We don't know whether the element is present or not. So if I ask you people whether 6 is present, so most of you say yes, 6 is present, sir. So how you did this? That is what the gap between the computer science and real time. So you want to be a computer science engineer, you must know how you did mathematically. If you know this technique, how you do, then we do mathematically on the machines, then you are good. You become a scientist, computer scientist, or what you want to be with computer science. So now we can see here how your brain would have done just to go in a slow motion. Just imagine in slow motion whether the 6, how did you find the 6 is present or not? How you did means without seeing 5, without seeing 3, without seeing 2, without seeing 1, you are not directly saw 6 and you answered no. What we did means, but we did so fast. So we scanned in such a No, our brain is so fast. I looks these things, it takes and then takes the 6 and then concluded. If I ask 20, you say, no, 20 is not exist. Again, how you did? Again, you scan from beginning to end, all the elements. Compare with it. Keep in your mind 6 and then you compare with the first element. 5 present? No. 5 and 6 are same? Not. Then 1, 3 and 6 are same? No. 2 and 6 are same? No. Then 1 and 6 are same? No. Then you said 6, yes, 6 is same. So this is why it's called linear search from beginning to end. That's how we do it. That is, we have to take from the first element till the last element. Whenever we found the element, we have to stop. So that's what, to begin with, I am taking the location is equal to minus. Assume the element is, where it is present, I don't know. Location, I don't know. But if it is present, its value will be some subscript with number. Otherwise, it remains negative only. Why this is minus 1? You'll understand at the end of this algorithm. So next step is a comparison. How did you decide it? By seeing 6 and 6, by seeing symbols, you can make conclusion. But how our brain does means mathematically. 6 and 6 are same, equal. Mathematically, they are one and the same. So that's what we have to do. So mathematics means, computer science means mathematics. All the operations should be carried out using mathematics. In real life also we do mathematics, same mathematics, it's a comparison. Equal, yes, the same, then only. But because we see, we are familiar, but brain background, it does calculation of comparison. So if they are same, then only you can conclude they are one and the same. So that is the comparison we have to do, whether they are same or not. That is, we use mathematical operation equals, same. Yes, they are same. No, it is they are not same. Let us we do it now. So start from first element, as I said, linear search for I equals, start from 0 to n minus 1, do the following step. Follow one by one. So first, what you are doing, the element you are looking for ELE is compared against A of I. So I runs from 0 to n minus 1. So we compare. So when these are same, that is element you are looking for, element of an array. Both are same means what says mathematically the element found. That is they are the same. Search is successful. I will make location is equal to that position I where the element is found. Which was negative, I replaced by subscript I value number where this ELE is found in A. That is at I, that I is copied to LOC. So this is if and, so then we have to go to step number, if it is 4, then we will come to 5. Go to step 5, if and, then for and. So this if and, this for and, repeat this step. If they are not same, I plus plus, I becomes 1, then I becomes 2, then I becomes 3, I becomes 4, we'll check and then we'll decide element is present or not. So after this repeating, so there is two possibilities. So what is the possibilities means? This location may be negative, -1, or it may be positive, some I. I run always from 0 to n minus 1. So if this is true means the location will be positive, otherwise it will be negative. So whenever this location, if location is greater than or equal to 0, that is positive means the element is found. Search is successful, you can output. So display or output element found at LOC, isn't it? We'll see that example. So else, so it remains negative. This condition never becomes true and we did not found the element. So write Cout, just to write output, it's an algorithm. So element not found. Element not found. You can write search is unsuccessful also. And next is stop. So end of the algorithm. So this is algorithm which will find the element ELE is present or not. So this is how the computer are able to do. So computer does automatically some magics you are saying. So if I give something like this number and you have a robot and it does it, yes, 6 is found, 20 is not found, 5 is found, you give any random order and it does correctly means because of this mathematics, because of these steps. So definitely it is going to say, yes, element is found at 3, element is not found, that's how it can perform. Any numbers you give, any number of times you give, because machines they'll never make mistakes. So this is the linear search algorithm. Let us go with this example. So same thing, location is -1 and we'll take I is 0. What does n means? 5 here. So 5 minus 1 is 4. It is 5 minus 1, 4. That is, I have to repeat these steps from 0 to 4. So that is 5 times. We'll see one by one. So now the element you are looking for is ELE is a 6 and right now A of I. So A of I means A of 0. What is A of 0? 5. So what is ELE is 6. 6 and 5 are same. They are not same. Hence for n will go I plus plus. So I previously 0. Now I becomes 1. 1 is less than 4. Again repeat. So repeat now. ELE remains same. The element you are looking for is 6. And then A of 1 is 3. So now it is 6 and 3. 6 and 3 are same? No, they are not the same. Then I plus plus. For n, I plus plus, I becomes 2. 2 is less than 4. Again repeat. The element is 6 and A of 2. Right now A of 2 is 2. So 2 and 6 are not same. I plus plus. So I becomes 3. 3 is less than 4. Yes, repeat. Element you are looking for is 6 and A of 3 is 1. So 6 and 1 are not same. So I plus plus. So I becomes 4. 4 is less than 4. 4 is less than 4 is false. But 4 equal to 4 is true. So therefore repeat once again. The element you are looking is 6 and A of 4 is also 6. So we copy LOC high. That is where 6 is present. A of 6. So that is A of 4 is 6. We have element 6 and we have an element we are looking is 6. Where is 6? Is that 4. That I is copied. Then go to 5. Go to step number 5 here. Then location is now 5. 5 is, location is 4. 4 is greater than 0? Yes. Display element is found at 4. We quit. Suppose the same example you are continue, if it is a 16 means, so then we compare I plus plus, same procedure is repeated till now, then I plus plus. So I becomes 5. 5 is less than 5, false. So we complete the end, that is we visited all the elements and this 16 is not found. This is an example, instead of taking from 1 to 4, I directly repeated same for like 6 only. So 16, 5 are not same, 16, 3 is not same, 16, 2 is not same, 16, 1 are not same, 16, 6 are not same, and we quit. There are no more elements to compare. Then what we do? We now look at this. What is LOC? It remains -1 only. Because we do not replace. This condition never becomes a true. 16, in this case 16. Therefore, it remains negative, -1. We write else. Else, element not found, stop. So this LOC will make a mathematical conclusion. Mathematically, it makes the decision. That is, element is present, it should be some positive integer. If it is not present, it is a negative integer. That's how we did here. So the location helps to decide the element is present or not. So based on this, we write the search is successful or unsuccessful. I think you have understood this algorithm. So write down this algorithm. Open the textbook and write this algorithm. So same thing, write the algorithm name and copy. From here, I think it's possible you can copy or best you keep the textbook. Same thing I have explained. So take the textbook and write this algorithm. So next what we do means let us write a program. So we shall write program for this. That is how to find convert this algorithm into a program. I'll rub this. So next, let us take same procedures, same algorithm. So now till here it is same. So we need an array means all these things are needed again, the same things. We need all these things. But along with this, whenever we declare, we need additional things. What is this additional things means? Along with this I and n, input-output operation, we need LOC, let it be -1 as well. That's called initialization. And also, do we need anything else? We need n, we have location, and element to be searched. So we'll take ELE. So these are the additional variables, because the same for searching, element to be searched, we have to give, like I give 6. So that is also be there. And location is 2 things, additional things. This output, based on this is the input, this is the output, so additional. So whenever we write a programs means, so keep the program, the problem definition into 3 subtasks. One is input, processing method, output. That will help you, that helps you to decide what are the variables required and how many variables are required, what will be the input and what is the processing. So in input, we decide all the variables which are required for input. And also in the processing method, so we'll decide what are the output and what are the intermediate results needed. So they are also declared in the variables. In output, what variables are required, how many variables has to be displayed, so that will be decided. So indirectly, you take any problem. Now you take an example of this, what is a linear search. So write a program to find the particular element in an array. So now input is array and particular element, and whenever we talk about array means, so declaration of array, subscript I, and then size of an array, and then now this problem needs element to be searched, ELE. And what is the output means? The string message saying that element, the search is successful or element is found. Another is element is not found. This is the possible output. And also to do this, we use a one more variable called LOC. By looking the problem statement, we must, till here we should decide. The starting 2 line can be written from the problem definition only. The program, when you read the question, the program, so you'll understand this. Then input, decide what are the inputs. Then decide how to do this. And then what is the output. So let me go the exactly similar way. So now I've decided, so array is required, so hence this part is common whenever we talk about array. So now I want to find the element is present or not, LOC is needed, and this is ELE is the element to be searched. So this is how from the problem definition or problem statement. Then this same thing, enter size of an array, enter the elements of an array. So now we use one more input, that is enter element to be searched. Enter element to be searched. Enter element to be searched. So now we write C in, what is the element you are searching? Let me take ELE. Element to be searched is ELE. Then we'll go for the processing method now. That is what we are trying to. So till here it is an input. So we have got all the inputs which is required. You can see here, array we have, element to be searched is there, and then we assume location is equal to -1. So now we'll do the linear search procedure. What linear procedure says? Start from first element. For I equals 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. Start from first element to the last element, right here, begin. So what we are doing? Comparing. If element you are looking for equals, we have to use double equals, relational operator for comparison. A of I, the element you are looking, and also elements from an array are same means there are 2 steps. One, I use the location, copy the location I, copy this I to LOC, and then terminate, break. That is what we do. So break is called loop terminator. It terminates the loop unconditionally. It's like jumping statement. Now when this condition, when the element you are looking for is found, there is no meaning to repeat the element again. Already we found, we stop immediately. That is the use of break. There we use a goto statement, but in structured programming we are not supposed to use goto statement. We use a jumping statement, break. So what this break does means, it's a loop terminator. So when this is encountered, irrespective of the condition, the loop stops repetition of execution of statements. So this is end of if statement and then end of for statement. Then the output decision making, same thing, if LOC, write mathematically, greater than or equal to 0. If it is greater than or equal to 0, then we use, there we use output, here use C out. So we can write positive, yes means, it is positive means true, found, element found at, you can write found at, you can write that LOC, that position, LOC plus 1 you can write. Because subscript is 0, 1, 2, 3, where it is present means, you can write LOC plus 1, exact 1, 2, 3, 4, first position, second position. So else means this condition never becomes a true, so that is they are not matched. So therefore, it remains minus 1 LOC, C out, so not found, element not found, unsuccessful, any message you can give, so not found. What type of message you want, you can use, no problem. So you can use not found, search is unsuccessful, and this is end of main program. So this is the program which will illustrate the linear search. I think here up to here is same input and element to be searched. Let me give now 2. Element to be searched is 2. I gave ELE is equal to 2, this example. We'll trace now how it works. We'll take example now with the values. Let us we go with one by one. So ELE is now 2. So same procedure here. Follow 0, linear search one by one from beginning to end. 0 is less than, so n is 5, 5 elements are there. So 0 is less than 5, repeat. What is the element you are looking for is 2. What is the A of 0? I is 0 now. What is A of 0? A of 0 is 5. 2 and 5 are same? No, they are not same. So therefore, I plus plus. So I becomes 1. So 1 is less than 5. Repeat again. The element you are looking is 2 ELE and A of 1 is 3. You can see here. A of 1 is 3 and element you are looking is 2. 2 and 3 are same? No, they are not same. Then I plus plus. So I previously 1, now it becomes 2. 2 is less than 5? Yes. Repeat. Element you are looking is 2. Look at A of 2. So A of 2 is 2. So this element is also 2 and the array element is also 2. 2 equals to 2. Yes. So location which was minus 1 is replaced by I which is 2. So LOC becomes now 2 because of I. Next what I did means break. So when break is encountered, I plus plus, I is less, this condition is irrelevant now. It ignores, immediately it goes after the loop. After the loop means this statement. So what is your location? So value of location is 2. 2 is greater than 0? Yes, 2 is greater than 0. Found at 2. You can write element is found at 3. That is 1, 2, 3. But subscript is 2 and but element found at 3. We can write LOC plus 1 because we don't see this one. We want 1, 2, 3. So therefore, I wrote LOC plus 1. So element found. Next program stops. Suppose you are looking for 12 means same thing. Continue now. So far, so I is 2. This 2 and 12 they are not same. Then I plus plus same repetition. So I becomes 3. So 3 A of 3 means 1. Element you are looking is 12. 12 and 1 are not same. This I am continuing, another case. So not same, then I plus plus. I becomes 4. 4 is less than 5? Yes. Repeat. So A of 4 is 6 and element you are looking is 12 and 6 are same? No, they are not same. I plus plus. I becomes 5. 5 is less than or equal to less than 4? No, stop. So now loop is terminated. In this case, 12 is not found. So therefore, this condition never becomes true. So therefore, that remains minus only. So then we'll display not found. 12 means not found. If it is 2 means it is found. I give an example. This is, I did both. Understood? So 12 is repeated from 5, 3, 2, 1, 6. Then we decided location remains minus 1 only. For 2, it is when we reach 2, the element is found. We note down the position and we stop. Still we have 2 more elements to compare, but we did not because of break statement. That's the purpose of using break statement. So this is something about linear search, algorithm and program. So we have one more is called binary search, and this binary search will continue in the next class. So that could also be, same thing, only we have a drawback of this linear search, and we'll come up with the binary search. So what does a drawback means? It's a time taken to make decision of element not being present can be made only after comparing all the elements. Cannot decide immediately. You have to compare all the elements, then you have to decide the element is present or not. So to make the decision of element not being present can be done only comparing all the elements. So that's why it takes time. So if it is 10 elements, no problem. 10,000 elements is also no problem. You have a 20 lakh or 10 lakhs elements means to decide the element is present or not means I have to make 10 lakhs comparison. So is there any alternative method? Any other idea means that is what we are talking about, binary search. So in binary search what we do means the element to be searched. So normally what we do means we cannot go one by one. So we have to, this technique linear or sequential search may not be efficient to handle large amount of data. It consumes time. It's okay, it's good, efficient when you, it's one of the simplest method of, this is what we do in real life also. So whenever you search means you search one by one only. That's how we in real life also we do. But what happens means they are not efficient to do for whenever we have to deal with a large amount of data. So therefore what we do means we go for binary search. In binary search what we do means, so first this binary search is applicable only the elements are some order, that is either they should be in ascending order or should be in descending order. So when the elements are in some order, so then we can apply the binary search. So what we do in binary search means the word binary. So it is like dividing. So we will find the middle element directly. First we'll get the middle element and then we compare with the element to be searched. So it's like random. We have some, you can think you have answer sheets. I have a 20, 30 answer sheets and you pick 15th one directly if it is according to register number. So that 15th is very easy. Directly you pick. So depending on what the register number, you can search below or above. That is, you search left of or right of, or it may be itself what you are looking for. So this is, if you have a 30 answer sheets, scripts, and you randomly pick 15th one you are looking for means you may get 15th itself. That is the best case. You got what you wanted. Another is you may pick 13th. So then you want 15 means you have to search right of, remaining. Suppose you got 18, then you have search beginning. So that's what binary search is exactly we do. In binary search, the element to be searched is compare with the middle element. Take the middle element and compare with the middle element. Possibility, they are the same. So if they are the same, search is successful. We found out the element and write down the position. That position, that's where we got the element. Middle position itself is the element where it is found. So other means the element what you are looking may be greater than. So great, since it is sorted numbers, if it is greater than means it exists after this. So element must come after this. If it is, that's what greater than means, element you are looking. Suppose it is, we get 15, you are looking for 30. So where 30 comes? After 15 only. So that is what, if at all it exists, it must comes after 15. So this is one possibility. Then what we do, we skip the left part. So whatever we have left part, we skip and we search right off of the element. So whatever right we search, that is what the case when the element you are looking is greater than the middle element. Then we search right off by leaving the left off of the element. So another is possibility will be the element what you are looking is less than. Suppose you are looking for 5 and what the middle element is 15. So if at all 5 exists, that comes before. So before the 15. So therefore we have to search first half of the element. Otherwise greater than means search right half of the middle element. Equal means we found the middle element. By doing so we can, one comparison is reduced. See, you have a 10,000 element. You divide now and get the middle element. Look at the element you are looking. So if it is greater than means, so we skip the 5,000 elements. So in one comparison you can eliminate 5,000. So like that, this is one of the efficient technique of searching method. So the binary search is normally it is used for to handle large amount. Whenever we make search among thousands or lakhs of numbers or something like this, whenever data is more out of some thousands of elements or lakhs of elements, crores of elements, there we have to pick means, then binary search is advisable. But before that we have to sort. After sorting, we can apply binary search. It is one of the efficient and fastest technique of finding that searching process can be done more efficiently. But only the restriction of this binary search means binary search cannot be applied on this, because you can see the numbers are not in order. If you don't know the array elements, whether they are arranged in ascending or descending order, then binary search will not work. So binary search works only for the elements which are organized in either ascending or descending. That's a drawback. So this is something about binary search. We'll learn this binary search algorithm, and then we'll write a simple program to illustrate this. And this will be the practical program as well for this. We use the classes and object. The program, practical manual program is also there. So that will continue in the next class.